Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to another episode of Left 4 Dead 2 Myth Busting Mondays. And in today's video for the final myth, we're going to be testing to see if whether or not that if we walk backwards, or just walk in general, away from the hunter at just the edge of his pouncing range, will he not be able to attack us, and instead we'll just be stuck in this stalking type of animation where he'll just walk after us, but he won't actually do his pouncing attack. Kind of like the Weeping Angels that is known in, I believe, the Doctor Who show, except that instead of it being the angels, is the hunter doing it. If you guys end up enjoying today's video, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, follow, and all that beautiful stuff. And if you guys have a myth of your very own that you would like to have be featured in next week's episode, please by all means leave it here in the comments down below. Or also alternatively, you can leave it within my Discord server, which is going to be linked down below in this video's description. All that being said, guys, I hope you end up enjoying seeing this week's episode of Left 4 Dead 2 Myth Busting Mondays. Myth: can a jockey send you flying upwards? Alrighty guys, myth number 1 is submitted in by Farmer Villager. Now for this one, this is something that I'm not going to be able to lie. This took me by surprise for the result that we ended up getting. As I was walking up the staircase, I saw this where Spencer just flew into the air as if he ended up having like a rocket strapped to his back. And I was like, what the heck did I just witness? I thought to myself, maybe I had a mod on that I forgot to turn off, maybe that was the reason why that happened, maybe it was just some sort of weird animation glitch, but it was neither of those things, and I was like, okay, well let's see if we can do this again. Now this did take a couple of attempts to get this going again, but on the second attempt, this is something that you guys are going to like to see, because look how much air that Spencer had gotten there on that jump. He flew so high. He almost ended up hitting the very top floor with that jump. At 40 HP, if God mode is off, this sends you high enough to be able to kill you from fall damage. So myth number 1 is not only confirmed, but I mean, any jockey players out there, if you're playing in versus mode, try to time your jumps with somebody else's jumps, and just try to maybe get the advantage and see if you can kill them with fall damage and basically be able to insta-kill them. This is like the jockey equivalent of being able to pounce somebody as a hunter from really high up in Left 4 Dead 1 and one-shotting them back then. Myth: can you use special ammo boxes to block a tank on a ladder and cause him to get stuck? Alrighty guys, the second myth is going to be from Dirk at Work, and this takes inspiration from one of the final myths that we did a few weeks back where we tried to do this with a witch, which ultimately ended up being confirmed, and now we're going to test it here with the tank. So we have got our ladder of choice completely covered with different ammo boxes, and we're going to spawn the tank very shortly here. But before we do that, I want to spawn a witch just to show you guys that the ammo boxes are aligned in the correct spot, because if they're not exactly aligned perfectly, the witch can go around it. So I'm going to show you guys the witch getting stuck, so that way you guys know that if the tank ends up going around it, it's not because the ammo boxes are placed incorrectly. Alright, so here we go. We're going to spawn the tank now, and here he comes. Now, unlike the witch, the tank just decides to climb around the ammo boxes and still proceeds to hit us anyway. Now, in case any of you guys were wondering if whether or not that we put him on a different type of ladder, if this will end up working, I decided to put him on one of the most claustrophobic ladders in the game, which is going to be this one here in the parish. And even then, that still doesn't stop the tank from going around it anyways. He just doesn't give an F. So the myth is busted. The ammo boxes can't block a tank on a ladder like the way that the witch can. So unfortunately, you're going to have to resort to a different strategy. Myth: can players/bots survive a fall into the sewer in the Parish Chapter 3, no matter how ridiculously high up they fall from? Okay guys, myth number 3 is going to be submitted in by How About No. Alright, so we're in the correct location, and I'm going to end up finding the correct spot so that way I can be able to be as high up as possible without getting stuck out of bounds. And it's going to be right about here. I landed perfectly in the sewer, but I ultimately still ended up dying. Now, we did test this a couple different times, but everybody died every single time that we had done this. So I'm going to assume that because you said that this was a glitch, that there must have been some outside factor other than just simply falling down into the sewer from incredibly high up. It must have been something that was instigated by something else that was not explained in the myth. So I'm going to say just simply falling alone and interacting with some sort of invisible barrier causing you to not die, that probably doesn't exist, and therefore the myth is busted. I just don't think that the out of bounds / invisible barriers are enough to be able to result in you being able to get away without dying of fall damage, I think it must be something else. Myth. Are hunters, jockeys, and chargers unable to be blinded by bio bombs when they are using their main attacks, unlike the smoker? Alrighty guys, and the fourth myth is going to be submitted in by Ace Rose, so we're going to be testing out the smoker first. So I'm going to be the smoker, I'm going to be going for Dan, and Spencer's going to be the one throwing the bile bomb at me. Alright, so let's do this. So I'm going to start choking out Dan, and Spencer's going to hit me with the bile bomb, and yep, I indeed got blinded as the smoker. But now this is where the true test kicks in. Let's see about the charger, jockey, and the hunter. Alright, so the first one I pulled was the hunter, and unfortunately it looks like that the hunter still gets blinded. Next is going to be the charger, and when I end up hitting Dan as the charger, it is the exact same thing. I am once again blinded. And finally, we have got the jockey, and just like the other two, I am once again blinded. Now, just in case you were referring to bot infected, I also did test this out with them, where I pre-blinded them with a bile bomb, and then made it where they could attack again, just to see if whether or not they can still track me. And after doing this, the smoker could find me, the hunter could find me, the jockey could find me, and the charger could all find me, even if I pre-blinded them with the bile bomb. Now, I also did refer to the Left 4 Dead wiki and type in keyword searches for all the special infected on both their special infected wikis and also the Boomer Bile wiki, and nothing pulled up on either of them suggesting that one type of infected can be blinded and the others cannot. So the myth is going to be declared as busted. All the special infected will be blinded by a bile bomb when they're doing their attacks. Myth. Will a hunter stalk you forever if you back away at walking speed at the edge of his pouncing range? And then the last myth of today's episode is submitted in by Keto. Now I am going to use a sniper so you guys can see this for yourselves because it is far away, but when me, Dan, and Spencer are all walking backwards just at the right range, the hunter does indeed just stalk us permanently. He doesn't sprint and he doesn't pounce unless you get too close. He will just rotate between walking after you or crouching where it looks like he's going to pounce, but then he just stands back up again. Now, amongst the chaos of a normal Left 4 Dead game, the odds of this happening are slim to none, but if you're just by yourself and you're just playing against a normal bot infected, you can be able to trick it to be able to do instances like this, where like let's say if you were out of ammo and you need to like back away to an ammo pile, you could feasibly try this, but it's not going to last long because once he's back in your range, he will attack you again. So that being said, guys, the last myth is confirmed, and if you guys want to now, you have a strategy you can use in a pinch if you were ever surrounded by a hunter. Alrighty guys, but that is it here for today's video, and I do truly hope you guys ended up enjoying it. If you did, please consider dropping a like, comment, subscribe, follow, and all the beautiful stuff. And if you have a myth of your very own that you would like to have be featured in next week's episode, please by all means leave it here in the comments down below. Or also alternatively, you can leave it within my Discord server, which is going to be linked down below in this video's description. As we wrap up the video, guys, I want to mention two last quick things. Number one, I have a second YouTube channel now. It is called Black Ninja 797 Extras. And on this channel, I'm going to be uploading and posting additional content that you would normally not see here on my main channel, such as gameplay walkthroughs, funny moments with my friends, and Challenge Accepted, which was a series I used to do here on my main channel where I play games that you guys requested me to play. If you want to check out the second channel, there is going to be a link down below in this video's description. I also want to say thank you and shout out to Epic Games for being my first ever sponsor. I have a supporter creator code with them, and the code is just my name, Black Ninja 797. If you guys want to, you can use it in the Fortnite and Epic Games item shops. Anybody that uses my code or has used it before in the past, I tremendously appreciate you. And yeah, guys, all that being said, I hope you ended up enjoying seeing another YouTube video from the most unique YouTubers are ever going to see. Thanks for watching, guys. I love all of you, and peace out.
Hey, meme lords. Jesus here. And you better have enjoyed that video there by the eternal god Daddy Ninja. You should probably subscribe too, or the mighty Moab will come for your balls. If you enjoyed the video, you might like it too. And give me the memes. Flash, bang, boom!